Hello everybody, this is Radishhead, and welcome to the first episode of what I hope to be many episodes of Duelyst. Now, this is a card game that I've fairly recently gotten into. Used to play a lot of Hearthstone, but I decided to look around for something a bit different, and then I came across this one, which is now becoming a game that I play more often than Hearthstone, because I think that it's more interesting to play, a little bit more engaging, definitely a bit more challenging on the mind, I think, because a lot of these Hearthstone games often seem to come down to who can draw the right cards at the right time, and there's certain mechanics within this game, such as the way you draw two cards at the end of the turn and you can replace one card every turn, which really appeals to me in that respect. So yeah, this is me. I'm not like an expert at the game by any means. I've only been playing for about 3 to 4 weeks. I managed to get to rank 5 in the last season after about 2 weeks of playing, which I was quite impressed with. I climbed up with mainly Abyssian decks. I've sort of got a bit of a rushy deck, one which is sort of a Shadow Creep deck, and one which is more of a Wraithlings tokeny deck. So, you know, that's me basically. I'm an Abyssian player, as is. Maybe somebody can change my mind. I mean, I do own a lot of Song High legendaries, not because I've spent any money on the game. In fact, that's another reason I love the game, because I've managed to get all of these legendaries and climb up the ladder without having to spend a single cent or penny on a pack, which is really cool in my opinion. I really like the accessibility of this game. So without any further ado, I say we get into some ladder climbing. As you can see, here are my 3 main Abyssian decks. We've got Super Aggro, which is pretty obnoxious to play. You just keep running at their face until one of you falls over. We've got Creepy deck, which, as you might expect, is a Shadow Creep deck. It's very slow. It's got a lot of heals, a lot of removal, and eventually you just win by launching a load of Shadow Creep underneath them. And then we've got my personal favourite, Weenie Warlock, which is not really a weenie deck at all. It's just a token deck, but it's also not Warlock, it's Abyssian, but still, it's alliteration, and that's all that matters. We got Slowish Magmar, Vanir Vesper Beta, which is awful, and Spell Song High, which has got my 2 Tusker Balls in it, because I felt like I had to use them for something. Anyway, today I think I'm going to be mainly playing Weenie Warlock, because this is my first episode, and I feel like it's that time where you should try to get the audience to understand what you're all about, and this is what I'm all about. These decks which spam loads of creatures and then win in one extremely exciting turn. So we're up against Magmar, which I will be honest is my least favourite matchup, mainly because they've got this absolutely horrible card. I don't know what it's called, but it deals 2 damage to all creatures at the end of the turn, which, as you can imagine, playing a deck like this doesn't really go down that well. Because, in fact, once the opposing Magmar played that card, I looked at my hand, I was like, I think I'm just going to concede, because it was literally nothing but Wraithling Swarms and cards which were only good if I had Wraithling cards on the board. So, okay, this guy's got a couple of young Silithars. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but everyone sort of goes about complaining about the Song High, but I've always felt that it's these Magmar decks that are the strongest ones out there that need a bit of reworking, in my opinion, because their removal is so dominant and it's so cheap. Like, it's really, really cheap removal, and I don't like it. And, you know, I'm not against playing a control game. In fact, my second favourite deck is kind of a power creep deck that is actually pretty control-y. But, I don't know. I feel like, as an Abyssian player, I don't really have anywhere near the same kind of resources to get rid of the board or to push for like certain types of damage or anything as Magmar does. So that's my personal thing. I'm obviously not a super experienced player, but I've played a fair number of games. I think I've won about 150 total games now, so I've got a little bit of experience. Hopefully, I'm hoping to keep on making these as long as the feedback is positive and constructive. I will keep making them, and I'm looking forward to sort of progressing my skills over time as I get better at it and play more. Alright, so that was a fairly slow turn. Do I have any way of getting rid of this Grimrock? Because if that sticks around, I'm not going to be that happy. I think I'll probably get rid of this Soul Shatter Pact. It's not quite what I need right now. Ah, that might be good. Dancing Blades. So I could either go Dancing Blades or I could go Primus Fist plus Wraithling Swarm. Having said that, I think Primus Fist plus Wraithling Swarm might be better just to get stuff out. So that's what I'm going to do. I just got to cross my fingers and hope he doesn't have that ridiculous card that I mentioned earlier. So I want to place it... I want to place it in a position where I can get this 2-3 to buff up to a 3-3, so I can defeat this thing and then finish off the egg. Rebirth is a really, really powerful effect in this game because it basically means you're guaranteed to have the opponent spend at least an extra 1 damage on clearing it, and very often more than 1. Probably I'd say about on average 2 extra damage is needed to clear a minion with Rebirth. And of course, Magmar has various synergy as well. So, but then again, every class has its tricks. I mean, what other class but Abyssian could manage to get the board quite as extreme as this? Let's see what he has to do this turn. Give me a moment, I've just got to respond to a text message. I haven't really... Oh, dearie me, Frenzy Rush. That's going to be really painful. Okay, right. I am back. Sorry about that, that was not something that I could ignore. Well, at least we've got the tools to get rid of this Manticore Warbeast on the board, and we do have the Blood Moon Priestess, which can sort of resupply our stock of Wraithlings. So I'm feeling like Primus Fist is the weak link here. Oh, is that good? Do I want to... That would reduce it to 5 HP. There's not really much I can do with that. So I think the play is Blood Moon Priestess. That doesn't use my mana very efficiently either. Maybe Dancing Blades is the best option. Seems a bit of a waste though. Alright, I'm gonna play Dancing Blades, because at least that clears the board. There we go, just use my thing to get an egg. At least when I hit the egg, I do get a Wraithling, and it doesn't even use up my artifact. Because, obviously, you only lose your artifact's durability if you get hurt. So if I sort of attack an egg and I don't get hit back, then that's a free Wraithling in my eyes. So I'm not complaining about that. That's also why I sometimes like playing against the Vitruvians, because of all of their obelisks which don't attack back. It's very nice. Alright, what's this guy gonna do now? I suppose in some ways it's a good idea to play this Dancing Blades over sort of Blood Mooning and getting loads of little Wraithlings, because I know from past experience that these Magmars are very, very good at getting rid of all my Wraithlings. So, on the plus side, we also have Spectral Revenant coming up. Does he grow at the end of the turn, at the start of the turn? So I can technically defeat this, but it's going to be pretty costly to do in terms of my attack. Oh, what? Wait, what did he just do? What? Did he just egg me? Oh dear, this is really bad. Okay, well, I've obviously got to get rid of Vindicator. But I also kind of have to get rid of this. And I can keep it back for now with Demonic Lure. This Spectral Revenant isn't enough. Well, it is, if I also use my General to do it. But then he'd get this Vindicator on the board, which is going to be really, really painful. So the question is, what's the priority? I think I'm going to get rid of Soul Shatter Pact because I don't really have enough creatures to make that worthwhile for now. If I don't play Spectral Revenant, what am I playing? Probably Blood Moon Priestess plus Jaxi. That doesn't sound that strong either. I think I'm actually going to get rid of this creature and cross my fingers that whatever he summons with Rush isn't going to be absolutely devastating. I could just lose right now, I'm not sure, we'll see. I have seen an extremely good combo where there's like this creature that summons another one next to it and they both get Rush. I'm not sure, I'm not really a Magmar expert. He's the only character that I don't have at level 11 yet. I think I just got him to level 10. But, he's not really my favourite. As I said before, he just feels... There's a lot of cards that you need to get him to work and I don't really have them. But once you do have them, he's a really, really strong class. Okay, well we're not dead yet. Okay, he's keeping... Okay, at least I can Demonic Lure that to get rid of it. So, that'd be 1, 2, probably 3, 4, 5, 6... So I probably don't want to play Blood Moon Priestess just yet. Well, I've got 2 of them, so maybe I will. I'd only get... I might be in trouble, actually. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He doesn't need much damage to defeat me, does he? I've got a little bit of healing in this deck. That is not it. Primus Fist. I'm not seeing any way out of this one. Well, let's play what we got and cross our fingers, I suppose, because technically he doesn't have lethal on the board. We'll play a couple of creatures. Cool. And that will be that turn and probably the game, to be honest. It's always a bit of a downer sort of starting the new series on a loss. But, well, I guess he played better than me, what can I say? He didn't even use any of his... Okay, he used a couple of those, which really did mess me up. And I did sort of say earlier that this is my least favourite matchup, so... Hopefully we'll have some more success in the future. But there's the first game. Never mind. Yeah, rank 10. Barely. Never mind. Well, let's get straight back into it anyway. Hang on, I've just muted my sound. Apologies for the jump cut there. I think we might as well use Weenie Warlock again. I don't think it was the fault of the deck that it didn't quite go to plan. I think that's probably my fault. Okay, we've got Vanar. Vanar has some interesting methods of tackling decks like mine, but generally I've had a bit of success with fighting Fey Bloodwing. So let's see if we can make this happen. Do I want to keep the lure? I'm just trying to think. Some classes do have cards which I want to lure quite early into the game. But would I rather get rid of this for something a bit more proactive? I think I'll keep the lure because if they use an infiltrator, then I'll want to drag that to me and kill it before it can do any shenanigans. Alright, I'll get rid of the Grasp of Agony. Okay, thank goodness we actually got a card. I'm going to play this up here because this mana spring isn't going to be doing anything for me, and I have a feeling that they might not be interested in stealing it. Okay, they are, but that's fine. Okay, got 2 lures in our hand. Let's get rid of this one. Another Gloom Chaser. I really do not like going up against these Fenrir Warmasters. I can't help but wonder if the Ghost Wolf should be a 2-3 instead of a 3-3 or something like that. I mean, that wouldn't change how good it is in this situation, but just generally, I suppose. Well, I guess this is a good time as any to play the Blood Moon, because I will be losing 2 creatures to get rid of the first form, and then he'll be losing himself, so that'll be 3 Wraithlings. I'll put it back here so that the opposing Fenrir can't really get to it that easily. Actually, this might be a little bit safer. Yeah, probably back here. Right, hopefully it's not going to spawn a creature right there. Okay, it didn't. You have to be careful of your placing of this thing, because it can very much mess you up. Oh, that is a bit annoying. It didn't spawn a Wraithling there, so he can actually defeat it now. But, never mind. I will end the turn there, because it's quite obvious that on his turn he's just going to use his Ghost Wolf to defeat my Blood Moon Priestess. Not much I can do about that, sadly. But at least I got a little bit of value out of it. Okay, so she has 5 mana now. Oh, is she going to do a de-spelling? Oh, okay. I'm actually quite surprised she didn't use her Ghost Wolf to do that. What is this? What is this going on? Rock Pulverizer. I didn't think people really used this card in competitive play, but that goes to show what I know. Let's get rid of one of these lures. I don't know why I keep drawing them. 2 Gloom Chasers isn't bad. But I think I might want to use Soul Shatter Pact just to get rid of this. That seems a bit of a waste. I could equally just use a Wraithling and get out the Dancing Blades. That seems way better. Okay. Sometimes my first plays aren't great, but then I think of a second one, I'm like, yes, that is the play. So there we go, Dancing Blades easily finishes off the Pulverizer. I'll use the Wraithling a little bit further back to defeat the Ghost Wolf, because then I can more easily pull forward my other guys. And I feel like I'm in the aggressive stance here, so I'm going to make that trade of HP. Sometimes I feel like explaining my plays out loud helps me to make the best choices. Oh, I hate Hailstone Prism. It's just because I always seem to have a full hand, so it just demolishes me. Never mind, I might use Lure to get rid of that. Yeah, that seems like a decent play. Lure and 2 Gloom Chasers, probably? Yeah. Actually, what I'm going to also manage to get a Horn of the Forsaken in here, because if I'm going to do this, just so that it takes 1 damage and doesn't have the +2 attack bonus from Infiltrate, I'm going to summon a Gloom Chaser on this spot, and another one behind me, just to protect it a little bit, and equip the artifact, hit it again, and there we go, we've got quite a nice little board of Wraithlings. I'm quite happy with that. Sometimes this deck can have some really swingy turns. In fact, if I draw another Soul Shatter Pact, this might actually be a win if he doesn't have any sort of, what do you call it, area of effect damage, which Valor doesn't have that much of. It does have Avalanche, which I'm not at risk of playing into because it only happens on your, or sort of on their side of the field. Okay, well he's played Emerald Rejuvenator, so we're a bit out of range on that front. But we do have Shadow Dancer, which is a fantastic card for just sort of extending the gap between the 2 players. So I'm going to keep this hand because I think it's all quite useful. I'm actually going to use my hero to deal 2 damage to this, which seems a little bit odd, considering I'm going to be using Shadow Dancer, so therefore I want to kind of kill as many creatures as possible. But since I've got a Soul Shatter Pact in my hand, I feel like having the utility of having lots of people is probably more useful. So there we go. And I'm going to form some sort of defensive line around my creature here. And I'm going to play Jaxi, obviously, because Jaxi is a great card. I'll put him right here. Why not? If he wants to defeat that, then feel free. He'll be extending sort of the gap between us by 2 points each time. Oh, another Cryogenesis. Well, it costs him 3 mana to do, I guess. A pretty effective removal, but I'm not super scared. It would be nice if I drew another one of my Death Watch cards, though. Are they called Death Watch? I think so. Alright, what's he going to do? He's got 6 cards in hand, so there's a whole line of things. He's clearly got sort of like an infiltratey Vespir deck, which is something which I've seen among a lot of these Vanar players lately. Okay, how much damage do we have then? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We've got 16 damage, which is not enough, but it does show that we're getting there. So what I'm going to do is, it's a bit annoying, but I think I'm going to... Do I want to take this damage? No, I'm going to stay safe. Because I don't have much to do on this turn, to be honest. I'm just going to be hitting this. Getting my extra Wraithling out via the horn. And spawning a few more. Want to make sure they're all within range to hit the opponent next turn, hopefully. But also far enough out of range that this Jaxi down here can't cause too much of a problem. I'm going to bring this one down here. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. If I draw... There we go. Let's draw another Soul Shatter Pact. So every single one of these Wraithlings is going to be doing 5 damage next turn. So I'm just going to pray to the gods of Duelyst that that Sanzala here doesn't have some sort of epic border removal. Because even healing's not going to save you now. In fact, I've got enough mana to play the Night Sorrow Assassin plus the 2 Soul Shatters, so just that alone is 8. Yep, 8 damage. Just unavoidable damage. I'm sure this person's experienced enough. They faced this kind of deck before. They know what's up. Okay, okay. They're giving me more minions, which I'm definitely not complaining about. What are they doing? Trying to buff this up? Okay, well I'm not afraid of that because that's just a whole lot of mana that's not being used on... I didn't realise how little that cost. Was that 2 mana? 2 mana for that. It's a really good spell. You don't really see it around that often. Okay, right, this is the moment. Can we break through these walls? I think we can, because you can attack diagonally. So let me just quickly do my maths. I'm almost certain that we've won. I'll just replace this just because. Alright, what have we got? We've got 1, 2, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, cool. Plus, I might as well play this as well. Alright. I'm really glad we actually got a victory. Cool. So just drag them all in. Ah, and a concede. Nice. They were like, nope, I'm not going to be just watching my general get obliterated by 10 billion Wraithlings. Anyway, I think I'm really happy to have sort of, I know, finished on a win. I know we only played 2 games, but this is really sort of a pilot episode, I guess, because You can never be certain when you start up a new show how people are going to respond to it, and I don't want to do like an extremely long episode if it's going to be absolutely awful. I hope it's not awful, but you know, YouTube watchers are often a finicky bunch. Not that you guys are finicky at all, you guys are brilliant. So yeah, that's probably going to be it for this episode. My name has been Radishhead. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be posting this on Reddit as well. I'll put a actually no, I can't put a link to Reddit threads in the comments, but anybody who's watching from there, feel free to give me your advice on how to improve this series, or my gameplay if there was like some extremely wrong move that I did, because I'm not really an expert at this game, trying to get better. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will hopefully see you again next time. Goodbye.